What's up? This is How to Snow Strippers. Alright, so the first thing that I started with was also 125 BPM for the snow strippers, like slower BPMs, like the 120 to 128 range. And I basically just did like typical four on the floor kick and clap, and I literally just used like the stock FL 909 sounds. And added a hi-hat. And I just used that as the bass to like build the song around that dance rhythm. So for the first melodic instrument, got this Analog Lab pad, and I just did like a classic 617 chord progression, like the most basic it gets. And then you gotta add the respace, just like a couple voices, and every offbeat. So instead of doing like this, move it over. And when I play that with the drums, it'll make more sense. So that holds down the rhythm section. Then I layered the chords onto the serum patch I made. Basically, just an LFO on this detune and a bunch of reverb. It's just playing the same chords as the other pad. So all of the like chord holding it down melodic sounds like this. So now for the most important part. You gotta have a melody in the instrumental that you're also singing along to. So whatever melody that you write has gotta be singable. So for this one, I just went with like a real simple piano melody, just the Spitfire Labs soft piano. Got a OTT, a vintage verb, and an EQ, just making it thin. And this melody sounds like this. Just real simple, something you can sing along to. And then I add this square lead layered with it, just a smidge of hyper, delay, reverb, and some portamento, and that's just playing the same melody. So all of those melodies together so far, and then I add one more for this like kind of break drop section. This sound I also made. I have a LFO1 on this position, for the saw rounded, which basically just adds like harmonics as it plays. Oh yeah, I've also got a supermassive EQ and kickstart because I didn't want the rest of the instruments to pulse, I only wanted this one to pulse. And just a square sub LFO on that, just a smidge of hyper, flanger, and delay. And this melody sounds like this. Basically just fills in more space in this sort of drop section. And then the final sound I add is just a layer of this piano melody. And for this one, I use this rave preset from one of my Serum presets. I'm not really sure what pack. It's just got like no hyper, good amount of dimension, multi-band compressor, and a filter. And that just is playing the same exact melody as a layer. And that sounds kind of silly by itself, but then once I add everything in, it's just a nice layer. And then the last thing for the beat is I have these transition sounds, which just lead from upbeat to downbeat. So that's pretty much it for the beat. You just want to keep it real simple, real pulled back, and very singable. You want the melody to be very singy, something you walk around humming. So next, the vocals. Now, one issue that I encountered is that I am not a woman. So doing these vocals took a little finagling. So basically, this is what the raw original take sounds like. Don't even worry about it, we're gonna fix it. Just how long I'll wait for. Alright, that's all I'm gonna do with it. So what I did is I pulled it into Melodyne. And originally, it's just down here. Just how long I'll wait for. Basically, I just pitched it up full octave and then went to this formant tool and formant shifted it down because to get like that female timbre, you pitch it up an octave and then formant shift it back down. So with no effects other than the Melodyne, that sounds like this. Just how long I'll wait for, just how long I'll wait for. And that's just mirroring this piano melody. Just how long I'll wait for. So I just add a low cut. Just how long. And then just this compressor smoothing it out. Just how long I'll wait for, just how long. I just give it a pretty classic vocal chain for me. Auto-tune, just making sure, like I already turned off the slides and everything in Melodyne. This is just making sure. Just how long I'll wait for, just how long I'll wait for. Then we got Arvox, just compressing. Just how long I'll wait for. And I got another compressor, this CLA 76, just middle attack, middle release, and it's just holding it down, keeping it, yeah. I got a one knob brighter, just brightening it up. Just how long I'll wait for, Then a flanger, just like softening it up. Then a EQ, just kind of cleaning up this mud, taking out more sub. Then another dynamic EQ doing the same thing. And then this chain is the one that really saves it. So first the de-esser. Then I got Ozone 10 vintage vocals. I put that on everything. Then another EQ, cleaning it up. Soothe, making sure it's all good. Then this waves doubler, just adding like some more phasiness and texture. Then another EQ, just checking frequencies. I didn't even do anything with this. I just use it as like a graph. Then a small and wide, super massive, just giving it a little more space. And then I've got this vintage verb on the echo verb preset with the EQ just kind of like keeping the mids. And that sounds like this for the whole vocal. It's not perfect, but it's as good as I can get with the whole not being a woman thing. So, here's the whole thing. I hope you enjoy. The biggest takeaway from this should be keep it simple, keep it catchy, and what's generic is generic because it's good. So keep creating, keep doing stuff, DM me and all that. Goodbye.
My hands together, trust in the one that flies above, knee deep in the ugly mud. And these Most days I find myself never ask no one for help. When I choose